Thank you. So my work is based out of Boulder, Colorado, and I founded Boulder Nutrition in 2003. And I specialize in women's health, um, primarily through the practices of eating and self-care and self-nourishment. And over the years, I have found that these desires that we have to be healthy, happy, whole, nourished, well taken care of, are often leave us being very confused in the world of food and dietary trends that are very prominent in our media, as well as body image and a lot of different cultural aspects that many of us are familiar with, dealing with in ourselves and our lives. So I found that in the work that I do, it's very common to be looking outside of ourselves for answers, looking for a new regiment, a new type of eating, a box that we can fit into, or simply just externalizing our concerns and our issues. And what I found in the 15 plus years that I've been doing this work is that as soon as we start to actually turn that focus inward, we get a lot more progress a lot quicker. We can actually begin to hone that intuitive muscle of being able to listen to our bodies and the wisdom of our bodies. And because of my passion for yoga and the yoga that I teach, I began to weave in a lot of the awareness foundational aspects that I learned through my yoga practice and also through the yoga philosophy. And it really changed how I work, but also it really seemed to have an impact on the way that women were progressing around making these changes, aligning, I guess you could say, our inner self with our outer actions. And that's not always an easy project, but one that most of us are working with. So basically, I founded my online course and community that's called the Yoga of Eating. And this workshop is basically a appetizer of that work. There's some important aspects that I'll share with you that I find to be very pinnacle in making a transformation around food, body image, self-care, and also the symptom of these issues definitely are rooted in deeper parts of our lives most of the time. So some of the foundational pieces of the yoga of eating are, community, which is very helpful to have somewhere to go and share and commune and connect and realize that many of us are facing similar issues in the world today. Another one would be bringing this awareness piece, this embodiment aspect of what we're working on into our practice. So, for example, in the yoga of eating, we specifically move through some of the touchstones of the yamas and niyamas and how they overlay onto our relationship to food and body. But we also bring in a physical aspect through asana, through mudra, and through mantra that helps to kind of anchor these teachings a little bit more physically, a little bit more kinesthetically in our bodies. And I find that that's a very helpful piece in teaching this content. And lastly, using these different tenets, I guess you could call them, through what we've studied in the different lineages of yoga and what we each bring to the conversation, it helps us to kind of presence ourselves into our physical bodies through our senses, through the practices of bringing this same kind of ritual, the same kind of perspective as the daily practice of coming onto our yoga mat or the daily rituals that we are often overseeing in our lives, and really understanding that when we bring that ritual to our eating, when we bring that attention to our eating, when we bring that same spiritual practice to caring for ourselves, to nourishing ourselves, to tending to our thoughts and our self-care, there is a big opportunity for something different to emerge. And I think that piece really is individual based on what we're looking for and what we're working on. But I find that there is a very important aspect around, bringing the practice off the mat, so to speak. So hopefully that helps with understanding a little bit about this particular workshop and why I've merged these two concepts. Yes. So lots of different kinds of people who are working on different things come to these types of workshops that I teach. Sometimes it's about just needing a little bit of guidance. Sometimes it's more working through a particular habit that is, something that they are wanting to be done with, or it's feeling expired or outdated or old, and we keep falling back into it. Sometimes it's about using food to numb ourselves or as a coping skill, or to kind of emotionally take care of ourselves in challenging times, which can lead to some, long-term problems. Sometimes it's just really wanting to understand the deeper currents that we can bring to the table, really, as far as how we can show up just more fully for ourselves and our health. So lots of different intentions, for sure. Yeah, if you have any questions or you just want to check out some of the different things that I do or the articles I've written, you can just visit bouldernutrition.com. Yep, and there's a blog there with a lot of different perspectives and recipes, but also you can read more about my work, and then you can also email me directly from there if you have specific questions about your own, what you want to work on and what you're coming to the workshop for. I'd be happy to chat with you.